Hello, this is Michael MI0HOZ, and today we're going to write a code plug for a TYT MD 380 for a repeater and a DV4 mini hotspot. Writing a code plug isn't very difficult, but it can take a long time if you have many repeaters to program. To begin with, you need a basic understanding of how the DMR system works for ham radio. When transmitting, we use talk groups. For example, when talking on simplex, we usually use talk group 9. This means that each user that is listening on talk group 9 will hear the transmission. If the transmitter changes to, for example, talk group 1, no one will hear that transmission unless they also change to talk group 1. We have many talk groups in amateur radio that we use so we can talk to only the users we are interested in. For example, if we use talk group 1, we will potentially be heard on all connected repeaters in the world. If we change to talk group 235, we will be heard on all repeaters in the UK. But if we change to talk group 880, we will be heard on all Northern Ireland repeaters. But if we use talk group 9, we will only be heard on the repeater that we are connected to. If we are in Oma and want to talk to someone in Belfast, we would use talk group 880. We could use talk group 1 or talk group 235, and that will work. But that would be bad practice, as we would be transmitting on repeaters that we don't need to, and stopping other users from using their own repeaters. If we did use talk group 1, we would soon get complaints that we are using all connected repeaters worldwide. On DMR, we also have 2 slots. That means that 2 conversations can take place at the same time. For example, I could be talking to someone in America on slot 1, and someone else could be talking local on slot 2, all at the same time. I will now show you how to program one repeater, GB3OM in OMA, and a DV4 mini hotspot. So to begin programming, we first open the TYT CPS software. On the left of the screen, you'll see the menu. First, click on General Setting, so we can enter some basic details. The radio name can be anything. I use my call sign. Next, we enter the radio ID. This is the DMR ID we received when we registered. All the other options can be left at their default settings. Now we set up our buttons. On the menu on the left, select Button Definitions. Change the short press button 1 to high-low power, and short press button 2 to scan on-off. Button 1 is above the PTT and button 2 is below the PTT. The next thing we need to set up are our talk groups. These are entered into digital contacts here in the menu on the left hand side. It doesn't matter in which order these are entered in. We start with talk group 1, which is worldwide. So we enter TG1 as the contact name. The call type is group call, and the call ID is 1. The call received tone doesn't matter. It can be set to yes or no. Next, we press add, and we enter talk group 2, TG space 2. Also group call, and the call ID is 2. It's for Europe. Now we'll enter the rest of the contacts. If you're only programming a DV4 mini, the only talk group you need is talk group 9. The others are only needed if you're using a repeater. So now we're programming talk group 8, which is for the GB2RS broadcasts. And the call ID here is 8. Talk group 9, which is local. Call ID 9. 13, which is worldwide English. talk group 80, '81, and talk group 84. Talk groups 80 to 84 are used for, if you want, say, a rag chew. You would call someone on say, talk group 235, and if you were going to have a conversation that was going to take any period of time, you would change to either 80, 81, 82, 83, or 84. So then you're only using 2 repeaters instead of nationwide. Next is 113, 119, 123, and 129. These are the same as the talk groups 80 to 84, only these are used for international contacts. 235, which is UK wide. And then 880, which is Northern Ireland. And finally, talk group 9990, which is the echo test. So that's all our contacts in. Now we program the channels. We need to know the frequencies and the color code. For OMA, the receive frequency is 430.950 MHz and the transmit frequency is 438.550 MHz. The color code is 1. So, on the menu, choose Channels Information. There should already be one channel there called Channel 1. Select that and a new window will open where we enter in our channels information. Starting at the top left, we have channel mode. Make sure it says digital. Moving down, we have the bandwidth, which is 12.5 kHz. Scan list we will come back to later. Squelch is normal. RX and TX reference frequency set to medium. TOT is a transmit timeout timer. Make sure it's something sensible like 180 or 240 seconds. So say we'll set it at 3 minutes, 180 seconds. TOT relay delay is a delay after you trip the timeout timer. You can set this to whatever makes you comfortable. Power can be high or low. For the DV4 Mini, low is good enough. This can be changed in operation with the side button. Next we have the channel name. We will start with local, so we will call this OM Local 2. This is what will be displayed on the radio when we change to that channel. If we were programming a second repeater, each channel will be prefixed with the 2-letter call sign suffix, for example, LY local S2 for Derry or UL local S2 for Carrickfergus. Next, we enter in our RX and TX frequencies. So our receive frequency is 430.950 and our transmit frequency is 438. 0.550. Admit criteria is set to color code. This stops us from transmitting if the repeater slot is in use and helps stop interference. Auto scan, if selected, will start the scanner when we change to this channel. It's up to you if you want to select this. RX only means you will not be able to transmit if this is selected. Lone worker isn't used in amateur radio. Vox is voice activated transmit, and I don't use it. But if you have a headset, I suppose you could if you wanted. Allow talk around isn't used in amateur radio. It allows you to transmit on the repeater output frequency, so you will just cause interference if you use it. Private call confirmed, emergency alarm ACK, data call confirmed, compressed, and UTB data header should be left unchecked. Emergency system should be set at none. Contact name is the talk group we're going to use. In this case, our channel is local, so we will use talk group 9. Group list is a received group list that we can set up so we can listen to other talk groups at the same time. For example, we could set up a group list that has 9, 880 and 8 in it. So if we were listening to talk group 9 and someone talks on talk group 8 or 880, we would hear them. This is personal preference if you want to use this feature. GB3OM uses color code 1, so we would enter 1 here. This channel uses slot 2, so we enter slot 2. Slot 2 is generally used for local and regional traffic, so we use it for talk groups 8, 9 and 880. Slot 1 is for national and international talk groups. Privacy is for encryption and isn't used for amateur radio, so we leave this at none. We now need another 17 channels programmed for OM. So we press add 17 times. This creates another 17 channels that we can edit. To make things easier, we can copy and paste most settings. To do this, on the left hand side, right click on OM Local S2 and select copy. Then one by one, right click and paste on the other 17 new channels. And now the only things we have to change on the new channels are the names, slot and talk group. So we'll now do this one by one. OM local slot S1 is on talk group 1 and repeater slot 1. Talk group 9 and slot 1. So this is Europe, which is talk group 2 and slot 1. So talk group 8, which is the GB2RS news, talk group 8, and leave it at slot 2. Talk group 13, which is worldwide English, and it's slot 1. Talk group 80, slot 1. 81, slot 1. 82, slot 1. 83, slot 1, and 84. Two, 3, 5, which is the UK calling talk group, slot 1. 880, which is Northern Ireland, it's on slot 2. 9990, which is the echo test. It is on slot 2. And finally, talk group 1, which is worldwide, and slot 1. Now I'll show you how to set up the scan function. On the menu on the left, you will see select scan list. Select scan list 1. On the new window that opens, enter GB3OM as a scan list name. Now on the left hand side you'll see all available channels. So select one and click add. There's no point putting in the echo unless you really want to. Now we'll go back to our channel list and we'll change scan list to GB3OM for each channel. Now, the last channel we are going to program is for the DV4 Mini. I use 438.5875 MHz as it is the simplex channel. So, if we click on add, we have a new channel. And we would call this DV4 Mini. So now we enter 438.5875 into the transmit and receive frequencies. The contact name is TAC Group 9. And the power is set to low, as high power won't be needed. And change the timeout timer to something reasonable, like 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes. Now that we have our channel set up, we have to set up our zones. On the MD380, there are only 16 channels per zone, so we'll have to set up multiple zones and a separate zone for the DV4 Mini. If you're programming just the DV4 Mini, you'll still need to set up one zone. So we start off in zone 1. The zones I have set up in my 380 are GB3OM, Echo Test and GB2RS. So on the left menu, select Zone Information and select Zone 1. Call this GB3OM, OMA. And enter the channels from the list on the left. So I'm going to select local S1 and you would set them up in the order of your own preference. So So now we're going to add 3 more zones. So I'm going to click add 3 times. So I'm going to call these GB2RS, echo test, and DV4 mini. So for DV4 mini, we add in DV4 mini channel. Echo test, we add in the echo channel. GB2RS, put in the GB2RS, and that's it. Save your work, and click on write and OK to write to the radio. And that's it. The work is done. Any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And thank you for watching. 7-3.